Hi, hello, welcome. I hope you are having a lovely day. I am so glad to have you joining me for this video today. I am going to be sharing my, oh god, I'd forgotten what month it was for it then. I'm going to be sharing my June currently video. Now, in case you haven't caught the previous two, currently videos are a new feature that I'm doing over here on my channel where I'm just talking through random stuff that's currently been on my mind during this month. So there's lots of different topics. I'm talking about the same topics every single month. But I'm going to crack on with June's. I can't believe it's the end of June already though. I mean, that means half of the year is gone and that is bonkers to me. Okay, so my first topic is reading, and I racked my brains and I genuinely don't think I've really been reading very much for myself this month. However, I have been reading Harry Potter with Dylan, and we are on, could be the third book or it could be the fourth book. The Prisoner of Azkaban, that's the third one, isn't it? We have been slowly working our way through the Harry Potter books. I read them, I was not as a child because I wasn't a child when they came out. I was like a teenager, I think. Or was I a child? I'm not sure. Anyway, I read them as I was growing up and I absolutely loved them. I'm a bit of a Potterhead and I was so excited when one of my kids got to the age where I could kind of indulge in enjoying Harry Potter all over again. So we have been slowly reading them. Now I stress we've been slowly reading them because they kind of get scarier and I feel like the content gets darker and more grown up, and I feel like you're kind of supposed to grow up alongside Harry. So at the moment I feel like the later books are just too dark and scary and just deal with issues that wouldn't mean very much to Dylan, but at the moment we're reading The Prisoner of Azkaban and I'm just really enjoying it. I really enjoy having a little bit of one-on-one time with him and getting to sit down in an evening and just read together. But it's also really nice to go back and reread a book that you loved. And it's also nice because there are lots of books in the series, you realise going back and reading them, the bits that were woven into the story all along that only really I pick up on because I know how it ends and I know things that happen later on, but those like little hints that these things were going to happen were there all along, which I just think is so clever. I have also been reading The Cat in the Hat and Green Eggs and Ham with Quinn quite a lot. She is obsessed with those two books at the moment. We seem to kind of do them on a loop. So yeah, I am Sam I am. I do not like Green Eggs and Ham. I could pretty much recite that one in my sleep at this point. Yeah, basically to make up for the fact that I have not been reading myself, I have at least been enjoying reading with my children. Planning. I feel like I've been a bit of a one-trick pony. Is that the right phrase? Yeah, I feel like I've been a bit of a stuck record. Let's stick with stuck record, talking about this every single month. But I have been planning our Disney trip. We are going to Disneyland in Paris very soon. We are going because Dylan and Everly are performing in Disneyland. In fact, by the time I put this video up, we will be in the most magical place on earth. So I've been planning that. I've been planning what days we're going to do, what parks, where we're going to eat, all that jazz, what we're going to wear. I will get onto that in a minute. But yeah, I've basically been planning our Disney trip within an inch of its life. But anybody who has ever done Disney, be it the Paris one or the American ones, or isn't there one in Hong Kong? I'm sure there is one in Hong Kong. If you have done Disney, you will know that I feel like planning is the key to making the most out of your trip. It's a busy place, there's a lot to do, there's a lot to cram in. You don't really want to waste time. The more you can plan ahead and be organised, I feel like you get a better trip out of it. This month I have really been enjoying watching Big Little Lies. It is back for series 2. Did you watch series 1? Are you watching series 2? It's just such a good programme. When it first started, I was a bit basically baffled as to how they had managed to get such an amazing cast for a TV show. I mean, it's got Shaylee, whose surname I can't remember. What is her name? I can't remember what her name is. But it's got Reese Witherspoon, it's got Nicole Kidman, it's got Laura Dern, it's got all these really famous like film actresses. That's probably another reason I love it. Lots of female leads. But it's got all these amazing female actresses in it that you can't believe are in a TV show. And then this series have come back and they've got sodding Meryl Streep in it, for goodness sake. She's brilliant. Her character is fantastic. And yeah, I'm just loving it. If you have not watched Big Little Lies, it is a Sky thing, but I'm sure there must be ways you could find it. I don't know if you can get it via like Amazon or downloads or something, but it's brilliant and it's definitely worth a watch. It's really kind of twisting and turning and you never really quite know where it's gonna go, and the acting in it is just amazing and I think it's great. Eating this month, I have been trying to eat healthier. No, actually I haven't been trying, I have been eating healthier. I don't know if it's, well, I don't know what it is that's triggered it basically, but I got to this point where I was like, do you know what? You had a baby over a year ago now and you are still wallowing in a body that you're not massively happy with. You are still carrying a bit of extra baby weight. You're eating like there's no calories and no fat or anything in it. So I was like, do you know what? Let's draw a line under this. Let's move on. Let's eat healthier. So I have just been making healthier choices. I've been consciously not snacking. I've been trying to find out, I think I've got to the bottom actually of what my bad habits are when it comes to food, and trying to kind of rewrite my behaviour so that I don't keep doing those bad habits. I don't really want to go into it. It could probably be another video in itself. If you're interested in that, let me know. I will do a video on it. But yeah, I've just basically been trying to rewrite the way that I am using food and dealing with food and my relationship with food. I actually am one of these weird people who really loves exercise, but right now at the stage I'm at in life, it is really hard to fit exercise into our lives. We are just so busy. I permanently have a child with me, which makes it very, very difficult. And when I don't have a child with me, or when children are sleeping, I have work to do because I work from home. So yes, I am not finding it easy to maintain the body shape that I would like that way. So I'm kind of consciously trying to make healthier choices, and I would have to say I'm feeling a lot better for it already. And it's only been like a month or so. And kind of hand in hand with that, I talked about this last month, I have been drinking more water. So part of, I sort of said last month I was going to kind of consciously try to drink more water, and I have been achieving it. Now, weirdly, I don't know if anyone else has ever like massively upped their water, but in the first week to 2 weeks, maybe first week to 10 days when I first started upping my water, not only did I have to go to the toilet all the time, which is ridiculous, but I was finding that my skin felt really dry and I was constantly thirsty, which felt bizarre. Not constantly thirsty, but I was basically waking up in the morning like so thirsty. I felt like I had a hangover, like I was gasping for a drink as soon as I woke up in the morning. And I was thinking, how can it be that I have doubled, I mean, let's be honest, probably tripled the amount of fluids that I'm drinking and I'm feeling thirstier? It's leveled out now and I don't have to go to the toilet all the time and I don't feel so thirsty all the time. But it was just a bit of a bizarre thing. Does anybody know why that happens? Because it was very puzzling to me why I was drinking more but feeling more thirsty. So yeah, basically I am now drinking pretty consistently 3 litres a day. And yeah, I definitely feel better. I definitely feel more alert. It's definitely helping with the healthier choices food wise, because I've definitely found that a lot of the time when I thought I was hungry, I was in fact thirsty. And drinking more has definitely helped me to stop eating as much. Pinning is the next category. And I can't think of anything for it. I sat down to try and write a list and I still can't think of anything, so I have not been pinning anything this month. I'll try harder next month. The next one is crafting, and I've been doing a similarly not so great job with crafting. However, I have found a way in to the crafting topic, in that I have been crafting our Disney outfits. And by that I don't mean I have been sewing anything, I just mean I have been putting together outfits for Disney, because it's a magical place and I feel like Disney theme outfits make it. So I have been planning out what the kids are all wearing each day. Some days Rich and I might be getting involved too, so I have been planning and crafting our Disney wardrobes. We have just been going out a lot more. We have been going out with the bikes because Everly has finally cracked riding without stabilisers this month. I'm so proud of her. Last year, she probably could have done it last summer, but she's a bit flighty and she just couldn't really concentrate. And while physically speaking, she probably could have done it, at the mere sight of something, she'd have completely lost her concentration and fallen off. So last year, she couldn't crack it. This year, basically a couple of weeks ago, she picked up Dylan's bike, which hasn't got stabilisers on it, got on it and rode it across the garden. And we were all like, Everly, you just rode without stabilisers. And she was like, oh yeah. So we kind of cracked on, took her stabilisers off, took her out, gave her a couple of practices, and she's basically like gone with it. She's gone from basically not being able to do it to being able to do it fantastically fast, and we're really enjoying taking the big two out for some bike rides. It's been really nice to get a chance to do that. We've also had a really nice day trip. It was actually a preschool trip. Quinn's preschool ran a school trip to a local farm near us. Now, it's a really little, cute, very authentic farm. Now they are set up for kind of trips and day trips, and you go there and visit, but it's not really like commercial and touristy. It's very simple, and it is the actual farmers that show you around and they talk you through stuff. And we just had the loveliest day. I just went with the little two because it was a preschool trip, like I say, but I did take Wylder along with me. Quinn absolutely loved it. You could feed all the animals, you got to stroke all the animals, you got to I mean, none of us were up for it, but lots of the other kids on the trip got to milk a cow. It was just a really cute trip, and Wylder absolutely adored it. I kind of felt bad that I clearly should have been taking that kid to the zoo and stuff, because he's mad about animals, and he honestly giggled and smiled the whole way around this farm. It was the cutest day out, so I'm really glad that we went there, and we will definitely be going back with the other two as well, because I feel bad that they missed out and it was such a nice day. Loving the sunshine this month, but I feel like I've said that every month, so I decided I would try and think of something else I have been loving this month. And I have been loving eating healthier. I know it's very boring, and I know that when people kind of go on health kicks, they turn into health kick bores, and I'm determined not to do that. But I have definitely been enjoying feeling healthier and losing a little bit of weight. I have been dreaming mostly of the summer holidays. I don't know if it's because we had half term and it gave me that little taster of just that different pace of life when the kids are off and not having to run around to clubs and pickups, and just that nice pace and the nice time to have time together. But I'm now just dreaming of the 6 weeks holiday. I think we've still got like a month and a half to go. Just a little bit over a month and a half actually, so still quite a while to go, but it feels like the end is in sight now, and I cannot wait for the summer holidays. I'm just dreaming of days in the garden and going to the beach and picnics. We're not going to be traveling anywhere this summer, but I'm just looking forward to a really kind of simple summer at home with my lovely family. Feeling excited. Disney. I feel like I don't really need to say anything else about that. Listening, I feel like, has become the section of Lucy talking about podcasts, because I listen to a lot of podcasts and I love podcasts, and every month I recommend another crimey podcast. I finished listening to the Up and Vanished podcast, which I think I mentioned last month. It's a good one if you like a crime podcast, but I've just started a new one called Culpable, which is a current podcast. So all the other ones are like old podcasts, so I've been able to binge watch them, but this is a binge listen to them. But this one, Culpable, is a new one that is current, like it's on at the moment, which is frustrating because I'm having to wait week to week to listen to another episode. but it's really good. I'm properly hooked on it already, and I think I'm only 3 episodes in. So if you are like me and you like a crime podcast, I would definitely recommend it. I've also been attacking my Apple Music account and listening to really random old music. I had a whole week of listening to Backstreet Boys back catalogue. I had forgotten how good the Backstreet Boys were. I mean, I wouldn't have even massively called myself a fan back in the day, but I know all the words to all the songs, and there are so many good pop tunes, and they are good car school run fodder, because actually the kids quite like listening to them too, because they're quite sort of fun and poppy. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. I've also been listening to a bit of NSYNC. I cracked out some Bananarama the other day. I mean, that's going way back in time, isn't it? But that's good too. Yeah, I would just encourage you to look up some playlists for stuff you listened to when you were younger, because it's like a little blast from the past and it makes me really smile. This month I have been celebrating my birthday, or rather not really celebrating my birthday. It was my birthday at the beginning of the month, and birthdays are really boring when you're a grown-up, I've decided. And as much as I'm one of these people who feels like you should celebrate every single birthday because growing a year old is a privilege and not everybody gets that privilege and it is amazing, it's still a bit flat, isn't it, when you're a grown-up? Because I had to ship my kids off to school, Rich had work, they then had loads of after school clubs, so we didn't even have time to go out for a meal afterwards for my birthday. Yeah, it was just a bit flat and a bit rubbish really. But the other thing I have been celebrating this month is I celebrated some girly time. So if you follow me on Instagram, I went to Ladies' Day. If you don't follow me on Instagram, maybe I will put my like username somewhere around here so that you can find me and you can follow me on Instagram, because that would be great if you would. Anyway, I went to Ladies' Day. I shared some videos, some stories when I was there at the time, possibly slightly inebriated, but it was a really fun day. I've never been to something like that before. I'm actually not massively into kind of horses or horse racing or gambling, but I didn't get involved in any of that. I vaguely saw a horse with some jockeys on in the distance. That's as close as I got to actual horse racing, but it was really nice because I went with a little group. There were 4 of us that went all together. We went out for breakfast first thing in the morning to kind of line the stomachs, but then we had a really nice day. It was kind of a bit like getting ready for a wedding, so we got all dressed up and we had fascinators and heels and pretty dresses and stuff. We then went to my friend's house and we had nibbles and drinks there before we went, and then we went to the races. We were really geeky and took chairs and got really kind of comfy and situated. But then afterwards, when the racing is finished, you kind of have live music. So we had 3 of 5. Kind of unfortunate that they're a band that named themselves by the amount of members, because there are only 3 of them now. But they were just as good as they're another old band I've been listening to in my car, to be fair. I've been listening to 5 music this month. But yeah, they were fantastic. And then Martin Kemp did a DJ set that was like really cheesy and party music that was really, really good fun. And yeah, we basically drunk Pimm's in the sun, laughed, chatted, danced, had a day off of being parents. It was just really a good fun day out, and it kind of reminded me the importance of good quality girly time. I mean, I'll go out for kind of coffees and drinks and stuff with my friends, but there was something really nice about having this whole day dedicated to hanging out with your friends. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I think I might not have celebrated my birthday, but I feel like I had that celebratory thing in the month of my birthday, so that was fun. And that is all of them. I feel like I might have cracked through them all a bit quicker this month, but I could be wrong. As I say every single month, pick one of the topics or a couple of the topics and tell me what you are currently doing alongside one of those topics in the comments, because I love hearing what you guys are up to. It just feels like it's nice to kind of get to know you guys a bit better and have you get to know me a little bit better. But I am going to leave it there. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you all again for another video really soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.